So what is meant by that is that if a bank were to fail, that depositor's deposits at the bank are covered up to $250,000. Anything above and beyond that in a more traditional setting is not covered and could be ultimately a loss to the depositor, which is why we provide something called ICS, Insured Cash Sweep, which allows for additional FDIC coverage. So what ICS is a program that ultimately covers up to $100 million in deposits for any one depositor. So what's meant by that is that if you had a relationship with us where you had, let's say, 75 million in deposits, we would work with partner banks. We partner with about 3,000 different US-based banks that are also FDIC insured, where we space out those deposits to ensure that no one institution holds more than 250,000 of your deposit. So what happens there is that ultimately when you need to take the money out, we just pull the money out of ICS and then we just give that out to you. So it's fully liquid money, it's easily accessible, and again, it just provides for additional FDIC coverage. And so if you look at it from an EB-5 perspective, if I'm an EB-5 investor sending $800,000 into an escrow account, well, okay, at most only 250,000 of that is insured. And that's assuming I'm the only investor or the first investor. So if you have a project where, let's say you have 5 EB-5 investors, there's $4 million sitting in escrow, traditionally only 250,000 of that would be insured. So what ICS does, it's a program that allows for FDIC coverage up to $100 million. So what happens behind the scenes is that we work with partner banks. There are over 3,000 banks in this ICS network, where we deposit 250,000 at each of these other banks on behalf of our depositors. So to this example, if there's $4 million sitting in an escrow account, we keep 250,000 on the books here, and the remaining 3,750,000 are spread between our partner banks. This is a manual process for us behind the scenes, where we actually are watching these funds to ensure that the partner banks in the program are, as they say they are, there are no issues with these banks. And if there ultimately is an issue with the bank, what we're doing behind the scenes is we pull from that partner bank and move to another partner bank. So we ensure that the funds are covered not only by FDIC insured banks, but by strong FDIC insured banks. So what we do is, to this example, if there's $4 million in an escrow account, you have investor A who's moving their 800,000 out of escrow into the account of the limited partnership. We'll manually move their 800,000 out of ICS, back into escrow, and then into the LP account. And this is all a process that happens same business day. So what we do is we're not only offering ICS on the escrow account, but we offer it on the limited partnership as well. So from the investor perspective, their funds are insured and protected from the time they hit escrow until the time they're ultimately dispersed out of the limited partnership account into the job creating entity, into the project itself.